we could have another 30% drawdown, which would make sense to coincide with this sort of thing over here. Remember, the liquidity over here that fell down from 2025 to actually the liquidity actually fell from 2024 to 2025. This drawdown, which is over here, offset, coincided with this level, is 30% drawdown, right? This drop that we're seeing over here at the end, it's like 1/4 of that. So I'm not really looking at this going, hey, this is the cycle peak. I'm just thinking to myself, hey, I wouldn't be surprised of a 30% pullback in that period.
How is it going to go up if the DXY is going up and people are selling assets for dollars?
Well, what we saw, it was that on Friday, it reversed pretty dramatically. I think it fell 1.4%. For a currency to fall 1.4% in a straight line, it means something fundamentally changed. You got to understand, it's trillions of dollars in the market, right? For the forex market, especially for U.S. dollars, which is the undercurrent, the currency for the world, the global reserve currency. So for it to move 1% means that all other currencies had to move on the flip side of that. And mostly the euro. The euro is like the main, like 80% of the DXY is the euro. It's a trade weighted asset, but still, it means that a bunch of money sold out of the dollar all at once, and that only happens from big money players. It's not people like you and me with their forex accounts who moved the dollar down 1.4%. There's no, it's not options market that GameStop the dollar down 1.4%. I hope the condescension is coming through pretty clearly. It's not people like you and I who did it. It's big money players. And so that lends itself to the idea that we're going to go down. Plus, at the same time, that the dollar is going to go down and assets are going to go up. At the same time, we had the bond market. We had a sell-off in the bond market. Bonds actually came down lower. You'll remember, if you guys go take a look at the stream we did on Traders Post last Friday, Peter and you talked about this. Depending on if you calculate the interest rate, if you aggregate the interest rate based on what the Fed says that you should pay attention to, the interest rate is negative 0.3%. Sorry, inflation rate is negative 0.3%.
Oh,
if you
yes,
calculate
that's right.
inflation, if you calculate inflation the way that the Fed says you should calculate inflation, because they always change their mind depending on what numbers say what or whatever. Just recently, they gave a sort of a general guideline for what you should consider PCE and different types of metrics. Daniel DiMartino Booth says that inflation is a negative 0.3%. That means we are in deflation, not disinflation, which is slow inflation. It's in deflation, which is money being destroyed. So we are in crisis territory. And if the Fed actually knows this in the back end, then they're doing whatever they can in order to goose the wheels. They're actually trying to provide liquidity to the markets, which would make sense that the dollar would then plummet. That the dollar came up and they're like, no, swap lines, do whatever is necessary in order to get the dollar down, because that's what they did during COVID. If we just take a look at that chart one more time during COVID, this drop over here, and this is where I had a come to the Lord of Liquidity moment. I thought, hey, we're going up. I go, why wouldn't we go up? Why wouldn't the dollar funding pressures be so great? The world is locking down. Commerce has come to a standstill, and it's a once in 100-year event we've never seen before. The dollar should go up. You know what the dollar did? Came straight down. Why? Because the holy global empire said so. So if they want this dollar down, it's going to come down. And Trump is begging the Fed to cut rates, which means he wants dollar down. So
what's
am I going to bet against the holy global empire? I think not.
What is M2 doing?
M2, don't worry so much about M2. M2 is not nearly as
Don't worry
good.
so much about M2.
If we're going to take a look, you're talking about global liquidity, right?
Yeah.
M2 on its own, it's not a great measure of global liquidity.
What are you
But if
talking
we were
about?
to take a look
You
at
brought
that,
it up to talk about money coming, 78-day lag, et cetera, et cetera.
yes, that's not M2.
Oh.
You wash your mouth out with soap. That's not M2.
Oh, what is that then?
M2 global dollar liquidity is taken into consideration a number of different factors. In fact, I have several different indicators that actually track that sort of thing. You guys get access to this one as the other ones are in the tank getting prepared. Actually, no, one of them is their flow. You guys could always take a look at that. But global liquidity is still going up and to the right. And with the offset, it still says that it'll be, September, October before we even start talking about a peak. Now, it did make a lower high, right? So this was a high before, this is a lower high, and it didn't make a lower low. So it does lend itself to the idea that comes end of September, this party is over and we're going to be on the short side. But until then, there's enough time for things to get pretty crazy at the end here. And if we get past that level, because we haven't had any since what? We haven't had, usually we get multiple 30% pullbacks in Bitcoin on the way up, right? That's totally normal. We had a 30% pullback. Was it over here? We had 30% in 2024. What was this level over here? We had a 30% over here in 2025. Okay. So we could have another 30% drawdown, which would make sense to coincide with this sort of thing over here. Remember, the liquidity over here that fell down from 2025 to actually the liquidity actually fell from 2024 to 2025. This drawdown, which is over here, offset, coincided with this level, is 30% drawdown, right? This drop that we're seeing over here at the end, it's like 1/4 of that. So I'm not really looking at this going, hey, this is the cycle peak. I'm just thinking to myself, hey, I wouldn't be surprised of a 30% pullback in that period. But we'll see what happens with liquidity developing. I should mention, just so it's on the record, and I have not figured out a way of dealing with this yet, but every cycle that I've studied, every single cycle for Bitcoin, the cycle ends when you get a 50% pullback. That's the top. Now, I want to get us out before the 50%. And I don't know how to do that yet. But you know what helps? Send in your super chats, donations. Go ahead and share this with your friends. You can send your gift donations to P.O. Box 23756.
No. There's no P.O. Box. There's no super chats.
Okay. Can I ask them to like and subscribe and go to sacredprofit.com and sign up for free?
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go to sacredprofit.com, sign up for free, use our indicators, share it with your friends, share it with your folks, like and subscribe to the channel because it does help. And the more information you provide to me, the more of your attention you provide to me, the more money I make, the better tools I can make for you. That to me seems like a fair deal, that I put my neck on the line, my time on the line in order to make you, whoever you are, extra money. Guys, I'm here to help you make money and enjoy yourself doing it. And for that, I need your help. Click like and subscribe in order to help this channel and share it with anybody else that you would like to see prosper. If you hate your family and friends, don't share it. But if you love them, share it. I'm going to put that on the t-shirt.
Yeah, please do.